about myself. My name is Kelly Hinton. The title Revelator comes from one who reveals. God just gives me wisdom in my ministry to reveal the hidden things of God. So I'd like to share some things with you, some principles that would allow you to succeed in life. My today's topic is entitled Ask, Seek, and Knock. And that is actually America's secret to success, is to ask, seek, and knock. But before I get into the lesson, I want to talk a little bit about black history. Many of you may have heard of Carter G. Woodson. He's the one who's the father of black history. You see, he learned in life how to ask, seek, and knock in order to make himself successful during his lifespan. And if we look at all the African Americans that have come before us, Dr. Martin Luther King, who had a dream, he learned how to ask, seek, and knock. So in order to receive what you desire in life, you must understand how to ask, seek, and knock. So the greatest example of a parable of asking, seeking, and knocking will come from no other than Jesus Christ himself. I must admit that if you turn to the Bible, and I'm going to read a parable that was spoken by him from Luke, the 11th chapter, starting at verse number 5. And he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight, and say unto him, friend, lend me 3 loaves. He says, for a friend of mine in his journey is coming to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he, from within, will answer and say, trouble me not. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give thee. Now I say unto you, though he may not rise and give him because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needs. And I say unto you, ask and you shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Now if we look at this story, here's a man, it's at midnight, and he says, who of you would have a friend who you will go into at midnight and say, friend, lend me 3 loaves? Now you see, now he said he didn't give it to him because he was his friend. And see, things in life, people are not going to give it to you because they're your friend, and they're not going to give it to you because they're not your friend. Jesus, what he's saying is that he gave it to him because of his importunity. Now what does importunity mean? Importunity, see, I used to think that importunity means you just keep on asking. You know, don't give up. Be persistent and just ask until you get it. And then I had someone say importunity was when you're so persistent until you just annoy somebody, silly. You just annoy them. Well, see, if you annoy someone, just one example, I'll study. If you annoy someone, it's not that they're going to give it to you because you annoyed them. What he said, he gave it to him because he did what? You see, importunity has a definition of doing 3 things. It's not simply just asking. It involves asking, seeking, and knocking. 3 things must happen for someone to receive what they desire in life. And when you ask, seek, and knock, you see, this will allow you to receive it. I like to use an anagram for ask. If you take the letter A, you can always remember this. It's to ask. And the letter S, seek. And the letter K, knock. These 3 ingredients must be incorporated in your life in order for you to receive what you desire. Now, what is the definition of importunity? What is the definition of it? It's the quality or state of being important. It's a demand raised up in the restaurant business. And my dad, we used to get so busy and have rush until we didn't have, like today we have call-in orders. We just had orders of people that would call, and he would say, Kelly, we're too busy. Don't answer the phone, because it's only a demand or a request. Well, see, at the time, I didn't quite understand what my dad was saying. It was because my dad was a man of importance, and he knew more about what's important in life, what to get done, what has to be done. So what I'm trying to say is that importunity is a demand or request, but there's a positive side to it. And that's what I want to explain to you today, how you can receive your requests, you see. Now, importunity comes from important. It means a state or quality of being important. Now, what is important? It's a troublesome, urgent. You're overly persistent in your requests or demand. When it says overly persistent, let me explain to you. When you ask for something, you're using your mouth to speak. When you're seeking for something, you're using your eyes and you're looking for it. When you're knocking, that means what you desire is right on the other side of this door, you see. And so when you're knocking, that means that you believe that you're going to get it, because what you want on the side of the door is you just have to maintain your faith. And so actually I come to find out that faith is believing. It's not just believing, but faith carries within itself corresponding action. That means that when you're believing for something, you have to act like it. You have to put your body in motion, you see. You see, when you put your body in motion, you put in your mouth when you act. And believe it or not, we all have done this in our life in some form or fashion. For an example, when you're looking for a job, you ask for the job. You see, or you ask for the job. You seek the job. You see. And then when you fill out the application, you're knocking on the door. You're saying, open the door, let me in. The same thing when you apply to go to college. You see, you sought out a college. You seek, you looked, you asked, could you attend here? And then you knock by filling out the forms. You knock by applying for financial aid. You knock by talking to counselors. You did everything you needed to do to receive. The same thing when it comes to marriage. You asked. You sought her out. You asked. And when you bought that ring, you know you were knocking on the door when you asked her to marry you for life. You see, so you're asking, seeking, and knocking. It's all about in your life. And you all have had this importunity, the desire to receive. And so all you need to do, you need to know your winning combination. You need to know that you already in some form of life, because you're here today, you have done this. You have asked, you have seeked, you have not. You see. So the secret, America's secret to success, is to act, seek, and knock. Again, I said it consists of those three things. Again, I repeat myself. When you ask, it's with the mouth, you say something. With the eyes, you're looking for. So when this man came at midnight, he was there asking. So he was there asking. He was there, he sought his friend out, so he knew where he was. So he sought him out, he asked, he sought him out, he asked him. And by him knocking, by him being physically there, so you can't knock someplace if you're not there. So you need to be going somewhere. You need to be doing something. You need to be trying to get what you desire in life. And so when you're there knocking, that means you're presently, physically there. And the answer that you want is right on the other side of that door. So whatever you desire in life, you ask, seek, and knock, and you shall get it. Because it says, whoever asks shall receive. If you seek for it, you shall find. And if you knock, the door shall be opened unto you. Now, there's a driving force of asking, seeking, and knocking. Does anyone have any idea what the driving force would be for ask, seeking, and knocking? Okay, I need 3 volunteers to come up. 3 people, if you would, please. I won't embarrass you. 3 people to come up. say something with his mouth. He's going to ask for what he wants in life, you see. And this man here, he's going to seek out and find what he desires. And when he finds out where he desires, he's going to knock on the door and he's going to get it. So, I want you to say the word ask with your mouth. Ask. Think about that. Now, with your eyes, I want you to seek and look. Just look around. He's seeking. Looking for what you desire in life. He's looking. Now, he's found it. Now that you found it, it's right on the other side of that door. What you going to do? You're gonna knock, like, open that door. Open that door. That's just stand right there. Now, the secret to success, the driving force of asking is to have two things in mind. Now, I need two people more to come up. Just two. Stand right over here. Because these is the driving force. This is the driving force for you to get what you want in life. Ask, seek, and knock. That's okay. Now, the driving force. Now, here it is. Here it is. The driving force to make all of this work, you must have, someone say, hope. You must have hope. And what is hope? Can anyone tell me what is hope? What is hope? What is hope? What is hope?
Substance of things.
Yes. Now, hope, you can be described in a noun and in a verb. In a noun, it is a desire accompanied by expectation or belief in the performer. Is to cherish, in the verb, is to cherish desire. So, this is the driving force about receiving whatever you want in life. You must have hope and desire. Hope and desire to ask. Hope and desire when you seek. Hope and desire when you knocking. You just don't be there just knocking, say, well, they might open. Or you just don't go ask and say, oh, they might give it to me. Or you don't go seek and say, oh, I might find it. You must have an expectation that it's going to happen. And that's what faith is. Faith is an expectation that you're going to get your desired result. And if you can understand these principles, this is the success that worked throughout all ages. See, not just for black Americans, not just for white Americans, it worked for all people in America who have asked, seek, and knock. They had a burning desire. Dr. King had a desire. Jesse Jackson had a desire. You see, all of them had a desire. Obama had a desire. See, they had a desire. They had hope. So when the opportunity came, see, if you think about importunity, that's what it is. People say, well, importunity, what is that? Importunity, again, involves all of these things. It's not one without the other. See, he's not just asking. You don't stand. Now you stand here. If he just asks, and that's all he do in life, he'll never get it. He just sitting there asking. It's like a bird. If you say, if you feed me, will he live or will he die? Well, if you feed him, he'll live. But if he just asks and never go looking to get it, if you just ask, and that's all you do, like, oh, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. And all you do is ask, he won't get it. Now, if you just go out there looking, you step back and just seeking all by yourself, just looking through life. I'm just looking for stuff, trying to get it. Him alone, he can't do it by himself. This man by himself can't do it. Step back, son. And this one, if he just go out just knocking every place he goes, just knocking. They have don't ask nothing and don't seek nothing, just knocking and just hoping something might open up. Then he can't make it alone. You see? So you all stand back together. So, do we understand this? What it means in life to succeed, no matter whatever you do, you must do all of these things. Can you give them all a hand clap? I think that would be it. Thank you all so much. You can hold on to those till after the lesson is done, and then we'll collect them. Yeah. So the next question that comes to mind in life is that, what is your worth? What is my worth, first of all, to God? What is my worth to my family? What is my worth to my friends? What is my worth to my job and career? What is my worth in life? So you must have a value set on yourself and know what you are worth to yourself. And you say, well, how do you do that? You have to desire to act, seek, and knock yourself. Follow up now. To act and seek, ask yourself. Seek what's in your heart. Knock within yourself to find out what is my purpose in life. If you don't ask yourself those questions, then you'll never know the answer. You see. But if you ask yourself that question, you'll find it. If you seek that, you will. And if you knock on your own heart, then you'll find out what's inside of you. You see, I was raised up in the restaurant business. I'll say that again. As a kid coming up, my dad taught me how to cook and how to do all these things. And that was one of my desires, is to have my own restaurant. So we had the family restaurant. Then when I moved to Wisconsin in 1990, after a few years, we finally opened up my restaurant there, and it was called Kelly's in a Hurry. He said, Kelly, you're always in a hurry. Well, we take our time, but we hurry up doing it. See? So that was one of the slogans, and I you missed a chance to laugh. That was one of the slogans I had in the business, is the business may be the right slogan. And so also, I attended the University of Whitewater, Wisconsin, to the business part, and then learned how to write business plans. And so I wrote my own business plan, opened up one location, and then it was a smaller place, and I opened up a bigger location in another spot. And the thing that I learned in life is that in being in business, you see, one fellow come in and said, Kelly, you sure is making a whole lot of money. You sure is busy. But see, I learned in life, it's not how much you make, it's how much you owe. You see, you have to manage your life and manage your finances. And so I've learned in life that, and going through that business, and that business closed, I said, well, even though it seemed like we closed the business, did we fail in business? No, a lot of times it's not that because you fail, but things come at you in life, obstacles. You see, and when things come at you, you just don't give up, and you don't give in. You must maintain the desire to continue to go forward in life. And so, anyway, I ended up closing the business in Wisconsin. But after coming to North Dakota, I continued in the ministry. I always was a minister. Since 1983, I was an ordained minister. So I always continue to do that. And so you always look in life for different opportunities that may come your way. And so in doing, you must also have a vision inside, a dream, a desire of your gift and doing what you're comfortable in doing. So to make a long story short, the opportunity came for me to have my own business here in Aberdeen. And so, as an African American business owner, I say to you that you never know when the opportunity is going to come in life, but you need to be prepared. You need to have a desire and be prepared. I always desired to cook, so that was one of my gifts. So while I was not in business, I was always cooking anyway. You follow me? Any opportunity I got, something come up, I'm cooking. And I'm cooking ribs, I'm cooking something. If you have an event, they had an event here not long ago. I cherish the opportunity to serve. At church functions, I serve, cooking, just cooking. You see, ministering and cooking. So, opportunity came for me to get the business here in Aberdeen. But I needed to be ready to be ready. I couldn't have been slacking on my ability to cook. I couldn't be, God blessed me to had to have money in the bank. Now, if I'd have spent the money that I had in the bank, then I wouldn't have been in business. The opportunity to pass me up. But I had it sitting there, you see, just hoping that one day, whatever God, will happen, that you got to be ready. So in life, you just have to have things ready. And a lot of times in life, because you live by faith and not by sight, A lot of times it looks like you have to do certain things in order for a door to be open. And what I'm trying to say is that there was times where you have to have, see, faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. Faith is now. Faith is believing that you receive it before you actually get it in your hand. Faith is grabbing a hold of your inner desire and holding on to it until a manifestation. See, you don't give up until it has manifested in the natural. So when you ask for it, that's verbal, invisible. You can't see it. You see. When you see, you're using your eyes and then you see it. You see. And then when you knock, you're using your hands. The same hands that you're knocking with is the hands you're going to use to actually physically grab a hold of it. You see, we're all looking. We're seeking, asking, we're speaking it, we're looking for it, but your hands is for grabbing a hold of it. When you get that house, you got your hands on it. You got your hands on the key. When you get that car, you got your hands on it. When you get your diploma, you got your hand on it. When you graduate and get your graduate degree, you got your hands on it. That means you're working all of this time so that you can put your hands on it. You want to put your hands on it. And so what you have to do is see yourself with your hands on it in your mind already. You see, that fellow, when he went to that door asking for bread, he saw his hands on it. He saw his hands on that bread. So you need to see your hands on your desire. Your hands, you want a family. You want children. See your hands on it. You see yourself with your hands on it. Oh, this is good stuff. I'm telling you. Put your hands on it. So you set a value on yourself. Now, here's the word of today's lesson. Right here. There's the word right here. Now, in this word, you have opportunity. In this word, you have important. It has to be important in your life, whatever you desire. You must look for the opportunity in life. But it all comes from this one word. And this is not a bad word. This is a good word. And this word, again, means you're doing three things every day. You're asking, seeking, and knocking. And they all come in stages. They may come when you have to do it right in a row, or it may come in individual stages. But know that in order to receive what you want in life, to be successful, it's asking, seeking, and knocking. And boy, I tell you, it's going to happen. Nothing will be denied unto you. Is there any questions about this lesson? Just anything you want to ask me about asking, seeking, and knocking? Here's the time. Yes.
What did you say importunity means?
It means that you have a persistent desire to receive what you want in life. It's that it's a state and quality of important. And important is a persistent desire. You're persistent and you desire to have it. Now, in doing it, it's not a single step. It's a three-step process. Because remember in the parable, he said he didn't do it because it was his friend. And he didn't do it because the guy wasn't his friend. It had nothing to do with it. He did it because the guy, he used importunity. He asked, he sought, and he knocked. He said, man, you must, he said he couldn't deny him because he used those three key elements. You see. Now, if he'd have called him on the phone and texted him, he wasn't there in the physical. See, that's how I did. He wasn't there. So you mean you can, there comes a time when you want to call and you want to text. But there's comes a time when you got to be there. You got to show up to get what you want. You got to be on the scene. Isn't that something? Is that it? Another question. Yes.
So what if what you ask for and seek for and not for it? What if you don't get it? Do you give yourself like a time limit where you at some point say, okay, maybe this is not what was meant for me. Do I change direction now? Not necessarily giving up on that, but maybe changing it a little bit.
Well, here's what I noticed when you said. When you ask, you need to believe that you receive what you ask for. Now, because you ask this person, maybe you ask the wrong person. Maybe you ask the wrong job. But you don't give up the asking part, but you don't have to ask the same person again. You see, just like when you pray, you ask and you shall receive. So you have to believe that you have. But then from that point in life, you see, you'll go through the process where it's like, wait a minute, I asked for this particular job or I didn't get it. But see, you have to believe that you got that job and you continue to seek. See, that's the next step. See, because you asked and it didn't work, you don't stop there. Now you got to seek. Well, maybe you sought the wrong place. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe you got to the point where you knocked on the wrong door. So you may have lined them ducks in a row. So you don't give up because you've asked. You don't give up because you've been seeking, and you don't give up because you're knocking. You have to have them all going for you. Does that help you out some? Okay. Yes. Question? You look like Gary.
No.
Oh, you didn't. No, okay. Okay.
No, I've been thinking about that parable all week. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Expounding on that.
Really?
That made it a lot clearer to me.
Right.
So thank you.
The three-step process.
That's what I got to say. So
Yes.
thank you for that.
Three-step.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Does anyone have any examples in life where they actually done these three things, maybe not knowing they did, and they received something? Just maybe. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, for me, like, I came all the way from a place that was so crazy, and when I left there, there's something inside of me, telling me that, hey, you're going to be somewhere that is better than this place. And I kept that faith, and I think what I did was I asked for it, and I left, and I finally got it. And what I'm saying that
Yes.
I was born in South Sudan, and when I left South Sudan, I didn't always know that was America. I was looking for a better place.
Right.
Civil War, things were so bad, and everything was so cool. And being in a place that I was walking for walking my feet for 9 days straight, in the jungle, and what I did was just faith. And I thought, I just thought that, if I just do it.
Right.
So right now I feel that, I did that, and I did
And you're physically here today because of those things. Boy, I tell you. See, we all can see where we're going in life, and we're here today because we have did these principles. See, if you find something like that works for you, and it's not like a special formula, but it's something that works because it's been written and it's been proven that if you ask, you shall receive. And if you seek, you shall find. If you knock, the door shall be open. Yes. So anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, as I'm here right now, and I was happy that it was possible for me that my next journey is that, how do I help other people to make it move? But for me to happen for others, to be too tough now, like, I'm tough today. Can you help me do this? And one of the things that I'm doing right now, I'm working on foundation, trying to build a school back at home, that gives a big place I can see it. So I'm in that process, but sometimes I ask, I knock, and I push for it, and this has been crazy. The last 2 years, it seems like I can't get anywhere, and I don't know why it's so hard, because
can take that away from you. Every day that you live, you have the hope in the left hand, desire in the right. And as long as you hold it on to hope and desire, and you wake up expecting, you got to expect it to happen. You see, expect it to happen. So now while you expect it to happen, it's only 3 steps you got to be concerned about. Maybe I need to ask again. You see, maybe I need to ask someone else. But you're still hoping up the hope and desire. And the best thing about hope and desire is that no man can take it away from you. No wife, no friend, nobody can put doubt in you. Nobody can come in and take your hope away from you. You know, everyone that succeeded in life, we talk about all the ones that succeeded in America, that's because they had the hope and desire. And as long as you have those two, even though it don't look like it,